Today, I will maintain all income tax and equivalent national insurance thresholds at their current level for a further 3 years from 2028.
What's going on with this whole income tax thresholds thing? I asked a tax expert, who also happens to be my brother, to explain what's been announced and what it might mean for you. People might have heard that there's been some sort of change to income tax thresholds. Can you explain exactly what's been announced in the budget?
What has been announced in the budget is a freeze on the current thresholds of income tax. We have a personal allowance, which means that you can earn up to around £12,500 and not pay any income tax at all. We then have a higher rate tax threshold above which you start paying taxes on currently at 40%, and that is just over £50,000. And those thresholds have remained the same since around the time that we were coming out of the COVID pandemic. They were due to end in a couple of years' time. They're now going to be extended for a longer period.
After speaking to Harry, I checked, and according to the OBR, had the threshold been increased in line with inflation all these years, then by 2031, the higher rate threshold would be £20,000 higher than it's actually going to be. Anyway, back to my conversation with Harry. How will this affect people's kind of take-home pay?
Probably the easiest way to imagine it is if you think about you're in employment and you get a pay rise. If I earn £45,000 and I get a £10,000 pay rise to start earning £55,000, either side of the higher rate income tax threshold, for every pound that I earn above that threshold, I'll be paying 40p in income tax. If the thresholds had been increased, so for example, if Rachel Reeves had said we're going to move the higher rate threshold up to £55,000, I could get that £10,000 pay rise and pay 20% on all of that additional earning. With the thresholds remaining in place, I'd have to pay 40% on the amount in excess of the higher rate threshold. Most people will often get pay rises which are in some way related to inflation. And as that happens more and more in the economy, an effect called fiscal drag takes place, which means that more and more taxpayers are pulled into those higher rates of tax when they otherwise would not have been had the thresholds themselves been increased with inflation. The intention of this policy is to raise more money. So over time, more people will be paying more tax than they otherwise would have been had this freezing of thresholds not taken place.